Welcome guys, welcome to Innsbruck, welcome to Tirol. This is the Austrian Climbing Summer Series calling, and we have two questions that should be answered the upcoming hours. Who will be the overall champion of the Austrian Climbing Summer Series and who will become the Austrian champion? But before we kick it off, let's have a quick glance to one of the most spectacular climbing lines here in Tirol.
Jeder, der einen Urinstinkt vom Klettern in sich hat.
First ascents are a core part of what climbing is about. You go somewhere, see a rock face and think, hey, why is there no route here? It is such a great wall or such a cool route that you just have to climb it. After all, rocks are there to be climbed.
Irgendwo eine Linie zu entdecken und die dann als erster.
I've always had an urge to discover new lines and become the first person to climb them. Pols 2000 was one of the first steep athletic sport climbing routes which Heinz Zach drilled many years ago. Today, it is the classic route for advanced and expert climbers.
When
I started climbing as a child, I didn't really know much about all the hard work he and other people did to set up climbing areas like this. Today I find it really interesting and very, very impressive. So I already knew more or less where the holds were. Of course, there were some things I had to do a bit differently because of my size.
The climbing is her kind of style, steep and athletic, ideal for competition climbers. I don't try to keep up with them. I've had my time, but it's cool just being outside with them. If you take a look and see how many people are out there climbing on the rocks and in the climbing centres, and how good they are, then it makes me proud because I think I made my own contribution with the pioneering work we did back then.
I hope you enjoyed it. And now let's kick it off and throw it to our Austrian colleagues of the Austrian Broadcasting Corporation. And while climbing is starting, you will get the commentary in English of our colleague Charlie Bosco. Let's get it started right now.
Matti Erler, der als Vize-Staatsmeister Speed hier reinstartet, gestern Silber geholt im vertikalen Klettersprint. Andi Aufschneider, der hier als zweifacher Speed-Staatsmeister reinkommt, der Jahre 2014 und 2017. Janni Bosch, der die Qualifikation gewonnen hat, Junioren-Europameister 2017. Edi Weiler, der University World Champion des Jahres 2019. Flo Klinger, die Kraftmaschine, amtierender Staatsmeister. Und spätestens seit dem Semifinale wissen wir, der Mann kann alles. Auch, wie gesagt, einen Impfstoff gegen Covid-19 entwickelt. Und Nikolai Lustig ist der Vize-Staatsmeister der Kombination 2019 und kommt hier als Gewinner des Semifinales rein, weil er viermal top gegangen ist, so wie auch Flo Klinger, aber für die 4 Zonen weniger Versuche gebraucht.
Es ist Abend geworden hier in Innsbruck. Wir heißen Sie wieder recht herzlich willkommen zu den österreichischen Staatsmeisterschaften im Klettern. Und nun steht das Boulder-Finale bei den Männern auf dem Programm, nachdem es ja schon die Entscheidung bei den Frauen gegeben hat. Johanna Färber ist die neue österreichische Staatsmeisterin. Die Steirerin hat eben das Finale für sich entscheiden können. Bei den Männern sehen wir hier im Hintergrund gerade die Besichtigung der einzelnen Boulder-Probleme. 4 Aufgaben sind ja den Männern gestellt worden, den Finalisten. Und die Aufgaben werden wohl schwierige wieder sein. Um das auch beurteilen zu können, hat sich Reinhold Scherer wieder an meiner Seite eingefunden. Servus Reini, was erwartet uns denn nun in diesem Männerfinale?
Ja, uns erwarten 3 Überraschungskandidaten, die im Finale sein und der heißer Kampf um den Titel, wo auch 3, der Utznik, dann der Jan Luca und der Flo ist auch dabei. Das wird sicher eine spannende Partie jetzt.
Auf diese Teilnehmer, auf diese Athleten werden wir noch zu sprechen kommen. Einer fehlt, einer ist nicht mit dabei, das ist der Jakob Schubert, der nicht ganz fit ist. Hat er schon vor Beginn der Staatsmeisterschaften bekannt gegeben, dass er hier auf weite Teile der Wettkämpfe verzichtet, einzig im Vorstieg mit dabei ist. Morgen, wir sehen hier noch Bilder von seinem Sieg. Ja, im Rahmen der Summer Series, hier unweit von der heutigen Austragungsort in der Leichtathletikhalle, ist ja diese Wand auch aufgebaut. Da war er sehr gut unterwegs, er hätte sicher heute hier um den Titel mitmischen können. Ist er der stärkste Österreicher auch in der Boulderwand?
Ja, würde ich schon sagen. Also er gehört weltweit zu den Besten. Davon sind die anderen noch ein bisschen davon entfernt. Mit dem Fingler-Flo und mit Nutznik Nikolai haben natürlich jetzt 2 Kandidaten, die schon auch mitmischen können.
Aber der Jakob Schubert ist hier und zwar sehr umtriebig noch dazu, ist zwar verletzt, aber als Routenbauer gerade hier auch beim Boulder-Finale im Einsatz. Um wie es ihm geht, das hat er uns vor wenigen Minuten gesagt.
Ja, ganz gut. Also Vorstieg sollte ganz gut gehen morgen, glaube ich. Jetzt die letzten Tage im Training schon einiges besser gegangen. Von dem her war es, glaube ich, die richtige Entscheidung, mich bei dem Bewerb nur auf den Vorstieg zu konzentrieren.
Sie sind aber nicht untätig, Sie sind hier als Routenbauer im Einsatz. Wie sind so die ersten Erfahrungen? Wie gefällt Ihnen die Tätigkeit?
Ja, sehr. Also es hat sehr viel Spaß gemacht. Natürlich tut es ein bisschen weh, nicht selber dabei sein zu können. Von dem her ist es danach cool, trotzdem irgendwie die Boulder versuchen zu können, auch in den Prozess einmal involviert zu sein. Was heißt es, solche Boulder zu schrauben, lernt man als Athlet sehr viel dazu. Von dem her bin ich extrem froh, dass ich die Chance wahrnehmen habe können, zumindest beim Bauen dabei sein zu dürfen.
Hat es auch schon ein Feedback gegeben von den Athletinnen und Athleten? Zu schwierig, zu leicht?
Es kommt immer darauf an, von wem. Also die was die Boulder geschafft haben, die sagen wahrscheinlich, war ganz gut. Die, was vielleicht nichts aufgekommen sind, die haben es ein bisschen zu schwer gefunden. Ich glaube, insgesamt waren die Runden schon eher schwer. Ich bin ein Athlet, der was als Athlet sehr darauf steht, wenn die Runden schwer sind. Von dem her finde ich, dass es ganz cool war. Jetzt bin ich noch sehr gespannt aufs Männerfinale.
Haben Sie einen Tipp? Wer sind aus Ihrer Sicht vielleicht die Favoriten auf die vordersten Plätze?
Ja, ich glaube, der Florian und der Nikolai haben schon gezeigt, dass sie die Favoriten sind oder dass der Weg vor allem bei ihnen zwar vorbeigeht. Waren jetzt in der Quali und im Semifinale sehr fit und ich glaube, dass sie im Finale jetzt die 2 Favoriten sind.
Georg Palmer überraschend nicht mit dabei. Wie schätzen Sie das ein?
Ja, war schon sehr schade. Ich meine, im Bouldern geht es oft darum, einen guten Lauf haben, wenn einem die Boulder mal nicht so liegen oder man einfach nicht so einen guten Tag oder in dem Fall Nachmittag erwischt, dann kann es sehr schnell vorbei sein. Wir wissen, er ist ein guter Kletterer, aber heute hat es irgendwie nicht so hingehauen, leider.
Danke und alles Gute für morgen.
Danke.
Ja, und der Jakob Schubert hat einen angesprochen, der eben fehlt. Georg Palmer, der auch einen Bewerb im Rahmen der Summer Series gewinnen konnte, hat es nicht ins Finale geschafft. Da haben wir auch eine Situation, wo er oben war, aber doch nicht ganz. Wie groß ist die Überraschung, dass er es nicht geschafft hat?
Eigentlich für mich war es schon groß, dass er es nicht geschafft hat, aber es sind die ganzen Boulder eher physisch gewesen. Also es hat so auf Finger maximal gehabt. Und das scheint diesmal nicht aufgegangen zu sein. In der Leichtathletikhalle, da waren die Boulder ja alle viel flacher und viel bewegungstechnischer und das hat ihm sehr gut gelegen.
Deswegen sind jetzt andere in der Favoritenrolle, allen voran natürlich jener Mann, der das Semifinale gewinnen konnte. Nikolai Uschnik hat es geschafft. Der Mann aus Kärnten, der jüngste 2000er Jahrgang im Finale. Wir haben hier zuvor bei den Mädels auch Mattea Bötzig gesehen, die auch sehr gut unterwegs war, aber dann im Finale das nicht mehr bringen konnte, gar kein Top gelungen ist. Wie groß siehst du da die Gefahr, gerade beim Jüngsten, dass es da auch schwierig wird?
Bei ihm ist es so, dass er zwar der Jüngste ist, aber auch das Megatalent zurzeit. Gell? Also er ist vom Nachwuchs jetzt voll durchgestartet und dem traue ich den Sieg durchaus zu. Der wird sich wahrscheinlich mit dem Klingler Flo betteln und wenn die Bowler passen, dann ist der Jan-Luca Bosch auch am Podium zu sehen.
Ja, aber eben Uschnik und Florian Klingler sind die zwei, die 4 Tops im Semifinale geschafft haben, also alle 4 Probleme gelöst haben. Wie kann man die zwei vergleichen, den Klingler Flo und den Nikolai Uschnik?
Ja, der Uschnik ist, wenn es ums Koordinative geht, vielleicht noch manchmal ein bisschen raffiniert, aber wenn es um rein die Power geht, dann ist der Klingler Flo der Dominator, der marschiert durch wie nur was. Und das hat er ja einmal im Weltcup schon gezeigt, wo er schon einmal im Finale war.
Ja, aber Reini Scherer spricht immer wieder auch Jan-Luca Bosch an und wenn der ihn anspricht, heißt das, dass du ihn auch ein bisschen auf der Rechnung hast. Welche Rolle wird der spielen im Finale?
Es kann sein, dass wenn die Boulder genau für ihn passen, er ist ein bisschen so ein Spezialist und wenn ein Boulder hat, die genau auf ihn zugeschnitten sein, dann kann er den anderen auch die Leviten lesen.
Die Leviten lesen?
Ja, wer weiß, gell? Es sind so ganz eigenartige Bewegungen, das zeigt er im Training auch immer wieder, der extrem gut drauf hat. Er ist nur ein Wettkampfnörgler. Und den Wettkampf umbringen, das ist halt dann auch doch wieder das andere.
Auch vielleicht ganz interessant, einer, der gestern im Speed-Bewerb sehr stark mit dabei war, Matthias Erber, ist auch hier im Finale. Also es ist gar nicht so die Trennung hin vom Bouldern, Lead hin zum Speed, sondern gerade eher ein Beispiel, dass es auch eine Kombination, eine erfolgreiche durchaus gibt.
So ist es, ja. Aber der Matthias war ja mal lange Zeit im Nationalteam auch und der ist ja noch nicht so lange nicht mehr dabei. Wie die anderen 3 übrigens auch. Die waren auch einmal im Nationalteam, sind aber jetzt nicht mehr drinnen. Das sind die Außenseite diesmal, aber die trainieren einfach noch fleißig und wollen es wissen. Die wollen den anderen auch noch sagen, dass sie noch nicht ganz zum Abschreiben sind.
Also Elias Weiler und auch der Andi Aufschneider auch noch mit dabei, die komplettieren hier das Finale. Die werden wir jetzt sehen. Es ist natürlich dunkel geworden, ist aber auch ein bisschen windiger geworden, aber von den Bedingungen her, denke ich, ist es noch optimal.
Ja, das ist super. Dieser frische Wind, der jetzt aufkommt, der trocknet die Haut besser, kühlt ein bisschen die Griffe mehr ab. Der Grip an den Griffen wird viel besser sein und die Athleten mögen das.
Morgen ganz anderes Wetter vorausgesagt. Zitterst du schon ein bisschen? Welche Kleidung hast du schon für morgen und übermorgen vorbereitet?
Ja, morgen wird sicher sehr, sehr durchwachsen. Aber Innsbruck ist oft speziell auch mit seiner föhnigen Situation. Vielleicht haben wir ein bisschen Glück, das Glück des Tüchtigen und wir können das gut über die Runden bringen.
Kann man das allgemein sagen, wo ist der Schwerpunkt, in welchem Bundesland oder in welchem Trainingszentrum sind zurzeit die stärksten Boulderer? Was ist das Boulderzentrum vielleicht in Österreich?
Ja, also kommen uns ja quer aus Österreich. Es ist halt dadurch, dass da das Bundesleistungszentrum ist, kommen natürlich viele jetzt her da zum Studieren und trainieren im Bundesleistungszentrum, aber auch Graz ist extrem stark, Niederösterreich natürlich auch, die Kärntner sind dabei, Vorarlberg im Nachwuchs extrem. Also es tut sich vieles und es lässig, dass es einfach mehrere Zentren jetzt gibt.
Gut, jetzt freuen wir uns aber auf das Finale. Reini Scherer ist bereit, Norbert Berliner ist bereit. Damit geht's los mit dem Boulder Finale bei den Männern.
Good evening and welcome back to Innsbruck, round 4 of 4 and what's been a very busy day here at the Kletterzentrum on the shores of the River Sill. Men's final in the Austrian Championship, and that's how they will line up. 5 Tyroleans taking part in their home state this evening, with Nikolai Uznik the highest ranked climber from the semi-finals, the only non-Tyrolean. He'll be coming out last. Right now, Matthias Erber on screen. Charlie Bosco here, along with Anna Sturr. Conditions couldn't really get much better here at the KI. Cool wind blowing, temperature really dropped since the sun disappeared, and Matthias Erber nearly taking full advantage of the conditions and getting an early top. As it is, he claims an early zone, but no more. Tricky boulder this for the men to start with, over on the slab. They start out over far left, and then they've got a bit of a journey across the wall. It's not like earlier on where it was left to right. Things a little bit more mixed up, but as I say, starting on the slab. And Anna, with the arrival of this breeze and the nighttime temperatures, conditions must be incredible on the wall right now.
Yeah, it should be sticky, I'd say. Definitely. I wonder whether Matthias feels a little bit tired from speed finals yesterday. He placed second at the Austrian Championship speed finals. So, yeah, I'm not sure if he'll feel some kind of tiredness. Doesn't seem like it, because he already sticks the zone.
Yeah, he's climbing really well.
Yeah, he's aiming for the top.
Under 6.5 on the speed wall.
Yeah. Matthias studies law in Innsbruck, and I think he's showing us the first top on boulder number 1.
Nice work from Matthias Erber. I watched the setters testing this one just before they left the stage, and he got the method exactly right. Got it on his third attempt.
Perfect, wow.
Let's take another look. I don't think the top move too tough. You've got a really good edge to hold at the top of that purple volume. Yeah, real all-rounder, Matthias Erber. I'm kind of surprised we haven't heard more about him at a world level. Below 6.5 on speed wall, making the final in the boulder.
No, he was never in semi-finals. His best place was 25th at the European Championship in Zakopane. And now another underdog, let's call him, Andi Aufschneider from Kitzbühel. Definitely surprised me to see him in finals, but he is a real competitor. When he's somewhere near competition, he's giving it his all. You can definitely bet on that. And it's really cool to see him fight. And I wish him all the best for tonight's final.
Yeah, I enjoyed watching him in the semi-final. Right now, he's just struggling to get underway on this first boulder in the men's final. After him, we've got Jan-Luca Posch, Elias Weiler, Flo Klingler and Nikolai Uznik still to come. Flo Klingler and Nikolai Uznik topped all 4 boulders in the semi-final round, and that is quite an achievement when you look at how hard those boulders were. Go back and watch the semi-final and you'll see what I mean. Andreas Aufschneider, though, finally gets started. That's a control position, that's for sure.
Just gets into the starting position. And he actually shared a podium yesterday with Matthias Erber. He placed 3rd in the Speed Austrian Championship. The Austrian Championship in Speed was won by Toby Blanca.
Yeah, very quick times. Toby Planger last night going under 6 seconds twice.
Mm-hmm. Toby is definitely in shape at the moment. Let's see if Andi is also in final shape. He's struggling with the start here, but this looks better now. Come on, get your foot over. Alele. Yeah,
This
nice.
looks a little more hopeful. Once you got yourself stood up, it's you've already overcome the first hurdle.
Yeah.
And then as you move out to the zone, we saw Matthias Erber read it absolutely perfectly. You just use your left foot to just dab the wall behind you.
And if you wonder why these first 2 men aren't wearing the national team dress, that's why, because they're not part of the national team.
It might be after this.
Could be. Andreas has participated in national comps for a long time, so he's definitely, he knows how it feels like to be in the final of the Austrian Cup or Championship. He placed 2nd at the Austrian Cup in Saalfelden and 4th at the Austrian Championship combined last year in 2019. And he always gives a good fight. Come on, Andi. Ale, ale.
You can tell he doesn't really trust that right foot, Andreas, but it's keeping him there for now.
Come on, come on. Yeah.
Could do with crossing through with the left, but you can see just can't get his ankle out of the way. Now he manages
Wow,
it.
it was a beautiful foot move. Pretty cool. You could see how technical it is, how hard it is to actually get this foot move. Come on.
He read it right. You see him put his left foot out behind him. So frustrated now to have to start again. He was on the wall for over a minute then. And some rather aggressive brushing going on.
Yeah, and it took him quite a while to get over there. He has 28 seconds left on the clock. Come on, Andy. You gotta move a little bit faster now, but maybe you already got the sequence, the foot sequence dialed now. Come on. Yeah, this handhold is almost nothing. Whoa, nah, that was too fast. Ah.
And time is up, and as you said, a real competitor. Apologies if there was some industrial language used when he fell off then. Let's have another look. This is how you do it on the zone. He didn't quite stick it, but you go right hand, yeah, and dab the left foot. Just a little bit too much rotation. He was really pushing on the left foot. Jan-Luca Posch should be out next. He looked very, very strong in the qualifiers. He wasn't far off in the semi-finals either. Here he comes. Another real competitor. I don't think he was that happy with his semi-final performance. He did enough though.
Yeah, I mean, his goal was definitely to be in finals, since he placed 15th at the Austria Climbing Summer Series, and he was definitely not happy with that position. So now everything is out in the open, you could say. And with a good performance, everything can happen tonight. He uses a very soft shoe, the Futura from La Sportiva. Usually it's very nice to stand on big volumes, but it's a little bit tougher to stand on tiny edges. Wow, but he does that beautifully. Nice. Come on, Yanni. Now he has to aim for the inner side of that circle. Whoa!
Oh, I could see what he was thinking there. That kind of corner, if we can call it that he tried to put his right hand across it. On the camera, we had this earlier in the semi-final. I forget if it was the men or the women's, but it looks like it's kind of useful, the corner, but it's much more open than it looks. I'm amazed he tried to go out right with his hand.
Yeah, it looked as if it could work. Matti showed us the slow beta. Now I wonder whether Yanni will go for the fast beta again.
No
he
problem
didn't stick
crossing
the
the
zone
foot
yet.
through. No, absolutely.
So if he wants to secure the zone first, he has to go slow. Whoa.
Whoa. I said you just have to dab the
Some
left
ninja
foot.
moves.
Yeah, that was a lot more than a dab. Should be
Nice.
okay from here. This last section not nearly as hard as the lower section, and the top hold really good. And there it is.
Nice. 2 tries for 1 top.
Yeah, moves him
Yanni
into
Bosch.
first place. Elias Weiler now 4th of 4 climbers so far from the Tirol. 5 Tyroleans and 1 climber from down in Carinthia in this evening's final. It's not the Austria Climbing Summer Series, by the way. No Swiss, no Germans. Austrian only. Elias Weiler, who looked very powerful and very fired up in the semi-final, had a real battle to get one of the boulders done. I can't remember which one now. It feels like a long time ago, but really earned his place in the final. Real battling performance in that semi.
Yeah, Eli has a real cool climbing style. He was part of the Austrian national bouldering team until 2018. Now he focuses on his studies. He placed 3rd at the Austrian Championship in Innsbruck, so he still competes nationally. but not internationally anymore. That's why he's not wearing the team jersey. But he's still climbing lots, especially here at the Kletterzentrum in Innsbruck. And yeah, I was not surprised to see him on the list of finalists this night.
By the way, if you're wondering where Jakob Schubert is, who you always expect to feature at the business end of any competition, he's got a slight inflammation of a bicep tendon, so he's choosing only to do the lead part of this Austrian Championships. So no boulder, no speed, and no combined for Jakob. He was part of the route setting team for this event, though only Jakob would consider boulder route setting to be a rest. Sounds
but
like
at least he doesn't have to stick to 4 minutes.
That's true, yeah. I mean, I'm just saying humans would just rest. But Jakob's sort of more...
But then you don't know Jakob.
Yeah, exactly. He's more machine than man. So to rest his bicep, he set some international level boulders, which must have been very relaxing. So part of the route setting team, learning what they go through in the competitions, no doubt learning a little bit himself along the way.
Oh.
Elias, no problem stepping through.
Just a little bit too fast. And not 100% sure of his beta.
Just keeping an eye on his knee. You can see the strapping. Pretty sure that wasn't there earlier.
Maybe that was due to a volume in semifinals. Because remember, if the climbers bleed on the mats, they have to tape it up or bandage it or somehow make sure that there's no blood somewhere on the wall, on the holder, on the mat. And maybe that's why his leg's bandaged. But now let's focus on the zone for Eli. Yeah, come on.
Gets it this time.
Everyone finished it. Once they were here, can Eli get the top as well? Come on. Come on, man. Get your foot up. Yeah, he needs to move his...
I think it's probably one of those tops where the climbers are maybe expecting it to be harder than it is. If you get it right, it's not a hard top out, this.
Yeah.
Just got to trust that left foot. There it is.
Still got to trust that left foot, yeah. Now nicely done by Eli Weiler. Cool.
Nicely done. So Andy Auschneiter, the only climber that's not managed to find a top so far. Flo Klingler will be out next. He stormed into the semi-final earlier with 3 flashes of the first 3 boulders. He ended up using a lot of attempts on number 4 and so ended up down in 2nd place out of the semi-finals. But make no mistake about it, to me, he looked like the strongest climber in the semi-final, even if Nikolai Uznik did beat him on the scoreboard. And I think if he can do well on this slab, he stands a very good chance on the much more physical boulders that are left.
Yeah, that's true. This could be his toughest battle now. We'll see.
I mean, you only need to look at him to know that he's got a lot of power.
Yeah, that's true. Definitely looks like a powerful climber.
Doesn't look like a marathon runner. Definitely a powerful guy.
He's the reigning Austrian champion from 2019, so he definitely wants to defend his title, especially because the Austria Climbing Summer Series didn't really go his way. He was not able to qualify for finals, so I'm sure he really wants to show what he's got.
Yeah, he was pretty fired up today, actually. Kept turning around and asking the crowd to get behind him and look really in the zone, and achieves the start position now. By the way, every time you leave the ground is an attempt, so those attempts when he wasn't even managing to get in the start position, they're still attempts.
Whoa.
Whoa, and thought about just skipping out a couple of moves there.
It's definitely a good idea, but I don't think the zone is good enough.
No, you'd have to squeeze it pretty hard to stop like that.
Because you get a lot of swing if you do it that way. I don't think he'll try that again. But let's see what kind of method Florian will use for his next attempt, which he starts right now. So tricky starting position again, hey?
Yeah, really tricky.
2 hands on the upper one, 2 feet on the lower volume. And it looks easy, but since these volumes don't have any crimp or anything on it, it's actually very hard. Oh, he goes for the same method again.
He's not that far off it, but...
Yeah, it looked closer now, that's true.
Like you said, though, it's not great, that zone. Also, you want to kind of pull slightly down on it, kind of 45 degrees down and left, not straight down and not straight left. And I think it may be just coming at it with a little bit too much speed just doesn't make it that good. Let's see.
Tries it again.
It's close.
Yeah, sometimes it's good if you have another idea, maybe. I mean, it's always hard to find the right sequence. But sometimes it helps if you have a plan B at hand, and you can try various methods. So far, he's stuck to one method, which surprises me a little bit, I gotta say. Yeah.
Buzzer sounds, 1 minute to go. We had a problem with the clock earlier. It seems to be fixed. The traditional clock problem has already happened today. This time the buzzer working just fine.
And tries the same method again. Come on, Flo, try another way, please. I don't think this method works. I mean, you can prove me wrong, of course. Nah.
Getting a little frustrated here. He could just do it latching that zone. Mind you, if he gets the zone, I think he'll get the top. One good thing about his method is it's quick.
That's true. One last try for Flo, 12 seconds on the clock.
Don't think he's got time. He'd have to be really quick.
Still jumps to it. No.
No, can't find a way. So he becomes the second climber not to find a top on that one. And Nikolai Uznik comes out with a chance to take the lead at this early stage. No one's flashed this boulder yet.
Posh. So he moved here just a couple of weeks ago, actually. Fresh from Corinthia, now in Innsbruck. And it's always cool to have so many strong members of the team training together, pushing each other and learning from each other. Nikolai won the first European Open last year in Innsbruck. He was second at the Austrian Championship in combined, 7th at the European Championship in Zakopane last year, and placed 8th at the Austria Climbing Summer Series. So he's also, this is his first final performance this year, and I'm sure he wants to make the most out of it.
We talked about this in the Summer Series, the difficulty of coming out and finding a slab. I can't help thinking that for a couple of these younger climbers, that's a factor. You come out full of adrenaline, you want to just pull the holds off the wall, and you have to just slow it down and be precise and delicate through the slab. Might not be necessarily what you want to see first. He's closer.
Yeah, as a boulderer, you really need to be a well-rounded climber. You need to be confident in all different styles, and you also need to be confident in your head, because even if you come out and you gotta climb a slab, you need to be able to deal with it. And since Nikolai has been competing for such a long time, he was also part of the Austrian youth national team, I think he should have enough experience to deal with that kind of pressure.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of like in football. If you came out and the first thing you have to do is take a penalty, you have to just not run around, not go crazy, just suddenly do something really precise and skillful. That's basically what happens when you come out to a slab first. Nikolai Uznik having another crack. He wasn't far off.
Come on, Nick. Yes.
Oh,
wow.
and it's
almost
a nice
the same
method.
way as his flatmate Yanni did it.
Yeah.
It looked almost identical. Now, come on. Yes.
Using his left knee as a handhold. Top for him. So good start for Nikolai. Took a few more attempts than he might have liked, but finds a way in the end. That was his third attempt.
Yeah, he helped himself with the knee there for his last move. It was clever.
Yeah, again, I think probably expecting the top move to be harder than it was. So Flo Klingler, work to do, ditto Andy Aufschneider. So Matthias Erber will be out next on to number 2, which is pretty much in the middle of the wall here in Innsbruck. Yellow holes to start, then the big yellow volumes, and then a good old scrap to the top. Slightly awkward one, this. It's you can see around the corner a bit, but not quite as much as you'd like. You can see what you're supposed to do.
But I think the route setters created some really creative problems.
Yeah, they've done a really nice job.
It looks really cool because you actually have to aim around the corner, kind of. I guess you can see the first volume, but I'm almost certain that you can't see the second volume from the climber's perspective. So this is definitely tricky. Come on, Matti. Wow.
This time he
sticks the jump.
sticks
Wow.
it.
He's on fire. Come on, Matti.
Straight up to the zone, and not a, I was about to say, not too much subtlety in the next move. Just get your hips
somehow
up.
his heel slipped.
Yeah.
I think he lost his heel there.
Yeah, he's got to get those hips up and keep going up to that crimp.
But he definitely secured the zone.
Yes, that's enough to give him the lead at this early stage, obviously, because he's first climber with the top and 2 zones. Obviously, first climber out, but better to be at the top of the leaderboard than the bottom. Take a good shake out. Pretty physical boulder, actually. When you come around the corner like that, you've got to hold yourself on the yellow volumes while simultaneously readjusting. Remember, the climbers can't touch any holds other than the start holds from the ground. So it's not like you can jump up and have a feel of those yellow holes like you might if you were trying an outdoor boulder. Here he goes again. He's done this jump once. He's done it twice. Got the advantage of knowing where the sweet spot is on those volumes.
Come on, Matti. But now he tried a different way. He didn't use the heel, but just used the left tiny foothold, and that looked actually a little better, I would say. Not sure how he feels about it. We'll see in his next attempt whether he'll try to use the left foot or the right heel. 1 more minute on the clock for Matti.
Got time for, you'd have thought, 1 more really good go and an emergency go if he falls off right at the start. But this is probably it for Matthias Erber. Done the jump 2 times in a row, make that 3.
Nice.
Looking solid up to the zone. What will he do with his feet this time? Goes for a heel hook on the right hand volume, levering himself up. Just cannot find a way to release that right hand.
But a very good effort from Matti.
Really good effort, and as you can see, as per coronavirus restrictions, face mask straight back on and backstage. Andreas Aufschneider next. Let's have another look. So gets the heel in place. You could see his left forearm, every tendon and muscle showing.
Yes.
But that crimp's just at 45 degrees. You can't really bear down on it. You've got to squeeze it a little bit as well.
And somehow the heel came off twice, so I'm not 100% convinced about this method yet. But Matti secured 2 zones, which is nice. And now we have Andi Aufschneider from Kitzbühel back out here on boulder number 2. Can he do this tricky jump? Yeah. I think he likes it. Chalking up once more. Come on, Andy.
So here he goes.
Come on.
Good demonstration from Matthias Eber of how to do the jump. He's always moving away from that, Andy.
Yeah, that's definitely a really tricky jump if you can't see the second hold. It's really weird to aim for something that you can't see. And then once you get these 2 yellow bulbs or volumes, you really have to kind of gain leverage straight away. Or gain height. Come on. Yeah.
Yeah, as I say, really difficult and so different to an outdoor boulder where you might get up and have a look at the holes and try and figure them out. No such option in the competition.
Yeah, and also you have to always start from the start, which is annoying, because of course it would be nice to try and solve the puzzle one by one. But this doesn't work in a comp. Gotta start at the beginning, every single time.
Yeah, and interesting you said that as we watched him from that position. It was obviously, it's not comfortable getting ready to jump. It's not like you're in a really comfy position and then you jump and it gets uncomfortable. You could see he was trying hard just to stay on the wall before the jump. Couldn't find a top on number 1. Nobody yet with 2 tops, but a couple of climbers who have the opportunity of getting a second top on this boulder. He's pretty close, you know. Right, let's see what he can do this time with 55 seconds to go. He's short again. It's really hard to tell, to be honest, unless you're on board, what he needs to do differently.
Yeah, somehow I think he's lacking the power a little bit to actually control these 2 volumes. As soon as your arm's not bent anymore, you have no chance of holding them. Come on, Andy. Alele.
Is the strength as much about your core as your arms? Because you've just got to
in
just
this
stop
case,
yourself?
it's more about the arms.
Really?
I would say, yeah.
Okay.
And you gotta be able to hold these 2 bad holds. I mean, they're slopers. You're jumping to 2 slopers that you can't see, and of course that's not the most comfortable position or movement you gotta do.
Jan-Luca Posch. 4
He's our
minutes
leader
about
so
to
far.
begin. He is. Oh no, Matthias Eber leading the way actually.
Of course, after the second one.
Yeah.
That's right. Sorry.
But yeah, Jan-Luca Posch was leading after boulder 1, and he could well be leading after boulder 2.
If he gets the zone, he'll be the leader. Needs to stick the zone. But I think he wants more than the zone. Janni won the qualification of this Austrian Championship. But of course, that's only the qualification, and now is all that counts. Come on, Janni. Ah. Does he already have tape on his fingers? Uh-oh.
Yeah, I think so.
Of course, that's not ideal for a jump onto 2 volumes.
No, remember the climbers are not allowed. It sounds a bit silly to say they're not allowed to bleed, but they aren't allowed to bleed on the holds. If they are bleeding, they have to take their fingers. And as you say, for a move like this, where you're feeling every crystal on that, every tiny bit of texture on those holds, having tape is a big disadvantage. Let's have a look. Looks a little low on it, maybe. It's quite straight arms when he comes around the corner.
Yeah. Yeah, skin is always an issue in bouldering, especially if you climb 3 rounds, qualifications, semifinals and finals. You lose so much skin because the holds are always new. Not a lot of people have climbed on them, so they have a lot of friction, and that really shows on your skin. So the more attempts you need, the less skin you have. And as you maybe know, the semifinal was very tough. So almost all of these climbers needed a lot of attempts.
Yeah, it's a really good point, actually. It's probably why we don't hear about Janja Garnbret having too many skin issues. She's never on the wall long enough.
Yeah, I mean, if you flash every boulder, then skin is not such an issue. But if you take a couple attempts...
This one's heavy on the skin as well, because you're kind of slipping off big volumes. Not nice. He's taken more tape off, so he's presumably just putting up with a bit more pain in order to get a bit more friction.
Tape reduces your friction, that's for sure. Skin is the best, like, skin is definitely grippier than tape. One more minute. Ah, come on, Janni.
Here he goes, probably this attempt and one more. Realistically, still looks like he's a little low as he comes round to the left. Thijs Eber really showed how this one was done.
Yeah, Matthias made it look almost easy. Come on, Janni.
Oh, he's so close. Will he try again? I don't think he will. No.
Oh, that's it.
In the Corona era, you know they're finished when they pick up the mask. Gave that one everything he had, but he just couldn't quite find the right position.
Und der hat schon angeschrieben. Mit einem doppelten Versuch am ersten Finalboulder. Geh weiter. Alles Gute.
Come on, Eli. Oh, he decides to stop before he goes for the jump.
Almost worked.
Not a bad idea. Everyone else was jumping off the starting hold. Eli tells them where he needs the exact brush. He looked close already, I'd say. Come on.
Right, here he goes again. That was a really good first effort. Oh, there's an even better second effort. Crowd respond as well. Must be 100 or so people now watching on. They're making plenty of noise. Oh, and he's close on the crimp as well. I think that might be the best attempt we've seen on the whole boulder from anyone.
Yeah, he was a little bit closer than Matthias. He almost grabbed that right-hand crimp, and he used the left toe. instead of the right heel hook.
In fact, I'm looking around, there's a lot more than 100 people watching on. Mostly socially distanced, I should say. There they are. If you've climbed here at the Kletter Central, you know exactly where that is, right outside the restaurant. Jakob Schubert down in the front row.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
So, half his time remaining. He's had 2 really good attempts. Second one really strong. I really like this stopping before you go method.
It's very clever. But it's definitely a strenuous boulder.
Doesn't look that strenuous either. He doesn't look like he's really shaking when he stops before the jump.
Yeah, but I think holding these 2 slopers.
Oh no, that's strenuous.
Yeah,
but the move,
that's the
stopping
part.
doesn't look too bad.
No, strenuous looks. Stopping looks okay. Yeah, I'm confused.
Secure
and
the
I
zone.
think it makes sense because he has to. He doesn't have to reach as far to grab the yellow volume. So it's a very clever idea. Yeah, to do that. Wow. Really good idea from Eli Weiler.
So here he goes again up to that crimp. Oh, he's close. Crowd living it with him. Only a minute left. Going quickly up to that crimp is certainly ambitious. It's really impressive to try it a couple of times. You'd have to hit it perfectly, I suspect, to hold on.
I think that the crimp is also pretty bad, so he doesn't have another choice. He needs to go fast. Come on, Eli. Wow, he really has this jump dialed now. Come on, grab the crimp. Allez, Eli. Yeah.
Oh,
Nice.
this time he sticks it.
Woo.
Crowd making a lot of noise.
Come on,
oh, the foot just slips at the crucial moment.
Too bad. 10 seconds left on the clock. That's annoying.
This is great. It's like getting a sample of life before Corona. You can live it through the crowd. You can hit. You don't need me to say anything.
Amazing effort from Eli. That was a very, very good attempt.
Look at this. Let's have another look. Take a bow. Wow.
And a little bit more luck could have been the top. Now watch his left foot. Grabs it, and at the same moment his left foot pops. Too bad. Bad luck for Eli.
But up into second place. And
yeah, it's still an amazing effort. I mean, he moves to second,
Florian Klingler now, nothing on Boulder 1, not even a zone.
Yeah,
I suspect he might enjoy this one a little bit more.
Yeah,
he's also choosing to stop. Oh, talk about power.
Perfect, yeah.
He's got it to spare.
This is definitely his boulder. Come on, Flo.
Oh, he's
makes it look like a walk in the park.
He's absolutely cruising this, Flo Klingler. One more move and then the top. Perfect. There it is. Florian Klingler gets a big round of applause, and boy does he deserve it. 40 seconds elapsed and he is done with Boulder 2. I said he might like it more than the first one. Look at this for power. Comes around the corner.
Yeah, really nicely done by Flo.
Doesn't even bother with the foothold out left.
No.
Straight up to the zone. Now he uses the foothold. No problem up to the next crimp. Foot stays in place crucially for this move.
Yeah, he's definitely not lacking power, that's for sure. A real demonstration of power from Flo Klingler on boulder number 2. And that moves him up to the 3rd place.
That was like a lion catching something. Wasn't going to let go. Just reeled it in. And there's some of the crowd here in Innsbruck. You can see all the people who are socially distanced seating are in the official seating area, and everyone else is just milling around outside the wall. Nikolai Uznik now, work to do for him. Could become the first climber with 2 tops if he can find a way here. He's going to stop as well.
Wow.
Oh, no problem at all.
Come on.
Chooses to heel hook.
Chooses to heel hook. Is that a good idea? Come on, Nikolai. Wow. Okay. Wow. Nice.
Could be about to see the second flash of this boulder. We are completely different method to Florian Klingler, but the same result. Moves up into first place.
Wow, I'd say the battle is on. Good job from Nikolai. Wow. That was another impressive demonstration of power from Nikolai. And used a completely different beta than Flo. Used the same beta as Matti Erva. But then he realized he needs to move his heel a little bit closer. Wow. Good solution from Nikolai. And another flash on boulder number 2.
Wow, this final really heating up now. Nikolai Uznik, 2. Sorry, just 1 top for him. It's going to be no, 2 tops for him. It's my scores that are slow updating. It was 2 tops. I'm not going insane. 2 tops for him. It's been a long day. So, straight on to boulder 3, Matthias Erber.
Through the unpopular roof part.
The what roof part? The unpopular roof part?
Yeah, I'd say.
Climbers don't like this bit.
I don't know, maybe it's just me actually. But I always find roofs a little bit old school.
Yeah.
Somehow it reminds me of back in the day when there were a lot of roofs in bouldering, but now you don't see them as much.
I have to say, this competition reminds me of the old days of competitions in the Marktplatz. We've got a big crowd, walls silhouetted against the night sky. It's great. It's like Corona never happened, just for a couple of hours.
I wish. But then somehow reality hit us again. Oh well,
Sadly.
At least we have a competition.
Yeah, it's great.
And we're happy to have the Austrian Championship here in Innsbruck.
Great.
I think the athletes are happy too.
Yes, I think they are.
It's very tough to have a season without comps, or almost no comps. So it's cool that the Austrian Federation was able to pull off the Austria Climbing Summer Series as well as the Austrian Championship. Come on, Matti. Such a tricky roof. I'd like to see the actual holds, because somehow you can't really see them that well. Looks like a lot of toe hooking.
And as if by magic, we see that hole just above the lip. We can't really get underneath the roof though, sadly. If you were tired from the qualifying round and the semi-final and the first 2 boulders, this is probably not what you want to see. No getting around this one. No finessing your way up this one. Just got to do some old-fashioned pulling. You can hear the slap as his hand lands on that green volume. Figure out what to do with his feet so he doesn't swing too much.
It's hard to stay on the wall if the toe hook doesn't stick yet. Really a little bit weird. 1 more minute, not a lot of time to figure out this tricky boulder.
Currently in second place, Matthias Erber. Could do with picking up a zone here, if nothing else.
Come on, Matti.
Give him some advantage.
Yeah. Now that looks really good.
That's more like it.
Nice.
There's the zone. Absolutely tiny little crimp he's on.
No.
Oh, and slaps up with the right hand.
Too bad. Now he won't have time for another good attempt. I mean, he's
pulling
still
on
trying.
again.
But this is going to be hard without a break.
And also, he's already got the zone, so this is only to get the top.
Yeah.
Possibly not worth the energy for that final attempt. There we can see, as I say, a few people fresh from climbing themselves. Getting and enjoying a bit of action on the outdoor wall. You see how terrible that zone hold is. So Andy Aufschneider, only climber so far without a top. He's out now on the boulder. 4 minutes begins again. Bit of discussion going on with, who's that? Eva Maria Hammelmuller behind that mask and Hannah Schubert behind her. Some analysis going on.
Yeah, it's hard to know what the route setters were actually thinking. Hard to be in a route setter's mind. But so far they did a really good job. Route setting team consists of Martin Hammerer, Hirs Wojcik, Andi Matuszka and Mauro Schwasta. We've seen some great boulders from the women's side, and also the men's side looks very promising so far. So shout out to the route setters who did an amazing job today.
Auf geht's, auf geht's. Vorletzter Boulder in diesem Finale. Push it to the limit.
Andy looking willing but surely tired at this stage.
Yeah, and this roof is definitely very powerful. No excuses there. And now you have to make that toe hook stick. He's actually choosing a heel hook. But does that work? Nah, not so far. Too bad.
Looks like he's enjoying himself, but as yet not finding a way through this roof.
Yeah, usually he always does. He really likes to compete, I think.
It's a shame we don't see him in action a little more often.
Yeah.
Don't forget,
Too
by
bad
the way,
he didn't.
Sorry, go on.
Too bad he didn't quite get into that real try-hard phase yet.
There's time yet.
Yeah, not yet. So far he's been shut down at the beginning, so of course that's annoying.
So
But
don't forget, we've got plenty more action for you from Innsbruck tomorrow night. Paraclimbing half an hour earlier than originally scheduled. So tune in half an hour earlier than originally scheduled. And then we've got the lead finals as well, both men's and women's, and then combined finals on Saturday night. So a lot more to come. It's been a busy day here in the Tirol. Another couple of busy evenings coming up. Oh, and he just cannot stay there.
You could see him smear off there. He's looking at his fingers.
Can't be the most comfortable fall.
Yeah.
Sliding off like that on sore fingers.
But he definitely lost a good layer of skin there. But he's a fighter and he has 1 more minute. And another boulder.
Oh, rather him than me.
Yeah.
Hard enough watching.
Come on, Andy. No, he's out of power.
He's had enough, 45 seconds to go, but he knows he hasn't got the energy.
Good effort, though. I mean, he qualified for finals at the Austrian Championship. A lot of people didn't. And he definitely made a very good effort already in qualification and semi-finals. And sometimes in finals, you can just find yourself completely out of power. And that seems to be the case now for Andreas. But he can rest up a little bit before he comes out to boulder number 4. Because now we have Gianluca Bosch on boulder number 3.
Strong climber, what will he make of this one?
Yeah, he's also not the most powerful one, as we have seen on boulder number 3. Florian and Nikolai looked a little bit stronger than Yanni. Let's see if this roof suits him. So far it looks really good. Come on, make the toe hook stick. Yeah. Aleani. Nice, perfect, really good.
Straight up to zone, he looks pretty comfortable. Don't want to use too many attempts on this one. So powerful. Don't want to have to do that roof section too many times.
Yeah, such a powerful move, huh? From the zone up to this orange volume. That's really the crux, I think, of this boulder. Sticking that orange volume. You gotta make quick work of that roof section, which is already powerful. And then you still gotta get up to this orange volume outright.
Quite sensibly taking a long rest, I think. There's really not much point just taking attempt after attempt after attempt. You'll just burn yourself out on this lower section.
Yeah, that's a really good tactic. I mean, he knows that it's a powerful boulder. He knows that he needs some power. He needs to save energy in order to be able to do that crux move from the zone to the right, to the volume outright. That's why there's no need to rush. But he's really struggling with skin, huh?
Yeah, we saw this on the other boulder earlier on.
Almost all his fingers are taped.
Yeah, untape and retape, or is he just going to untape and hope it doesn't open again? I was going to ask you, actually, I mean, well, how many World Cups did you take part in?
I don't know, I never counted.
All right, about 100 plus, I guess? A lot?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, a lot?
A lot, yeah, but I don't know the exact number. If someone's out there who wants to find out, you can always find out, but I don't. I'm not going to do that research.
Do you get more scientific about how you use your 4 minutes? You know, do you say, right, I never rest for less than 20 seconds, or I mean...
It really depends on the boulder.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's a jump, you use a lot more attempts.
Yeah.
And then sometimes maybe you'll even...
and that is it for Gianluca Posch.
Ah, too bad.
Absolutely fed up. I don't think he realises he's left his chalk bag, actually. Yeah, 1 minute and 20 left. Does not look a happy man. Massive problems with his skin. So frustrating for us, let alone for the climber, when we can't see them give their all due to skin. It's such a shame when the arms and the brain are willing and the skin is not, but he has had to give up. But yeah, did you get more scientific about how you plan your 4 minutes?
I think you get more experience and you get more that kind of feeling when it's good to start, and you get less nervous and wiggly at the beginning, maybe.
So it's more of a subconscious thing. You don't necessarily start to plan.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have statistics or a plan that you stick to, but somehow it's more... Somehow you got it in you, in a way.
It's the magic of experience.
Yeah, maybe. Let's see if Elias has enough experience for this roof boulder.
Only the fourth climber to attempt. It feels like we've been on a journey already with this boulder.
Yeah, but Elias showed us a really nice method on boulder number 2. So maybe he can show us a nice solution on this third boulder as well.
That's such a shame about Gianluca Posch, you know. Yeah, as you said, top in the qualifying round, 4th in the semi-final, and clearly just really restricted by his skin. So Elias Violet is up next a little earlier than he might have expected to be. Very patriotic tape on the right knee. The Austrian flag, kind of.
Yeah, I don't think that's on purpose. Come on, Eli.
Feel like the crowd are willing someone to get a bit higher on this boulder. They've seen a climber up to the zone. Can they see someone higher?
Come on, Eli.
He's now up to the zone, and the crowd do come to life.
Come on.
He just cannot find a way to release the feet and jump at the same time.
A very tricky move. And if someone can show us how it's done, then it's either Eli, the one we're seeing right now, or Florian and Nikolai are still coming. And they already showed some great skill and power on boulder number 2. So, yeah, let's see if someone can top this one. breeze is picking up. You can see it on the t-shirt.
Yeah, it was quite windy actually. We're in a little, I don't want to call it a tent.
It's actually a föhn wind, I think. That's why it's not that cold.
Ah, the föhn wind coming from the south.
Yeah. Because otherwise it could be really cold. I mean, it's already fall. Summer is definitely gone. But it's still pleasant to be out here. And for climbing, it's ideal conditions. Windy, cold.
Oh, it's perfect.
I'd be pretty happy. And I think Eli is too. Come on now.
Come
Stick
on,
that
Eli.
move.
Trying to get himself set. 1:10 left on the clock, and he just can't find a way.
But he tried to use the
release.
foothold, but that was no good at all. And I think that he lost a little bit of power because he tried to grab it and then couldn't hold it. So I think you gotta go in one movement out of the roof into that orange volume.
That's the hold he was trying to use. Just to let you know, by the way, talking of conditions and obviously being British, I'm obsessed with the weather. Tomorrow is supposed to be pretty horrible for the lead finals. Shouldn't affect the action too much. It's well undercover, but we're expecting temperatures well below 10 degrees and heavy rain. But for tonight, perfect conditions here in Innsbruck. Can he take advantage? No, he cannot. Perhaps another climber struggling with his skin. Crowd enjoyed that one, though. Now this will be interesting. Florian Klingler and Nikolai Uznik still to come. Both looked so powerful on Boulder 2. Look what that crimp is like for the left hand. It's not much bigger than a nail.
But he's crimping hard on that zone, but somehow wasn't meant to be. Good effort though by Eli Weiler. He came out to that zone a couple of times, a lot of times actually. Yeah, and proved that he's definitely one to look out for. And now the powerhouse himself, Flo Klingler.
Has to wear the mask. He's being asked to tape. I was wondering, so I think he was asked to put the mask back on while he interacted with the officials.
Probably,
now he can take it off. Good to see the protocols being so strictly implemented amongst the climbers. Pretty hard to control the crowd in a venue like this, but certainly the climbers and the officials sticking very strictly to the rules.
Come on, Flo. Can he flash this powerful boulder as well?
Surely not. Even by his standards, this is a powerful move here.
No, he can't. Okay.
Just hesitated, maybe.
Somehow I think the toe hook wasn't ideal. Looked as if the toe hook didn't stick. But it's good. I mean, we need some tension here. And I'm sure he can still do it, so
I think he
I'm
can.
positive that this was just the first attempt.
So Flo Klingler, I think this is only a second attempt coming up.
Yep. Come on, Flo.
Nice mature climbing, not wasting any attempts.
Wow, he really doesn't like that green volume somehow, and in combination with that left toe hook, doesn't seem pleased yet. I really thought that he'd make quick effort or quick work of this kind of problem.
I agree. Now,
But
if he doesn't get it done, it's a big if. Let's just see what happens here. Yeah, he can't get established. If he doesn't get it done, it means that Nikolai Uznik can win on this boulder. It's a big if. It's a big if in both senses. Flo
Both
Klingler
ways,
not
yeah.
doing it and Nikolai doing it, but it is possible.
Aye.
Burning the attempts, I mean, it won't matter that much because so few climbers have topped this boulder.
No, but I think he's getting a little bit nervous because obviously he knows that he didn't top boulder number 1. And this is definitely a boulder that he'd like from observation, I'd say. So, yeah, he really needs to concentrate and try extra hard for these 50 seconds that are left on the clock. Come on now, Flo.
Cannot get that toe hook to stay.
No, yeah, I think the toe hook is really the problem. Somehow the toe hook keeps slipping off. Come on. Allez, Flo, come on. Ah!
And he's not
No,
going
without
to
a toe hook,
find a
it's
way.
definitely not working. Not even the zone for Flo, which is definitely disappointing.
Yeah, massively
Aye.
so.
There's only one guy who can still climb this boulder. But now we can look at the toe hook problem again. Yeah, he tried all the feet. He tried the lower foot, he tried the higher foot, but somehow the toe hook never stuck. That's too bad. Aye. Yeah, and with one boulder that leaves Florian on the 5th position. Whew.
Could still win the competition, believe it or not, if he...
Yeah, that's true.
So tight. Actually, Andy down at the bottom there. The only
If
climber
Nikolai
that can't
doesn't
win.
climb it.
Yeah. So, Nikolai Uznik not riding on this. He can win the competition if he tops this boulder. Won't matter about attempts, won't matter about anything else.
Yeah, let's see if his toe hooks can stick. Come on, Niki. Allez.
Whoa, smashes up to that green volume. Toe hooks holding for
Allez,
him.
Nikolai.
Zone, that could be massive as well in terms of the overall result.
Boy, he tried to match the zone. Did you see that? It's a tiny hold.
It is a tiny
I mean,
hold.
it would be a good idea because then you don't have to throw yourself out of the roof with the If you could have 2 hands on the crimp, it would be an advantage. But I think it's too small. I thought it's too small. I don't know. Takes a good break now. And Nikolai is climbing to a song from Eminem. It's a good tune. And I think
it is a good tune.
he
Good
enjoys
pump-up
that.
tune.
Yeah. This is your chance. Go get it now. Come on, Nikolai.
This is it for Nikolai. Still going on to the last boulder. He's in the lead, regardless of what happens, but he can just win the competition here and now. He doesn't need to worry about the last boulder if he can find a way.
Come on, Niki. Allez, Nikolai, come on. Boy, he's matching it. I can't believe it. Come on.
Oh, he's close. And
but it was a good effort from Nikolai.
He was down a couple of seconds and he's already asking the brushes to get involved again, so he thinks he can have another go.
But I think he has one more go.
I agree, yeah. I
And
mean,
that'll
surely
be
he'll
it.
wait now till, what, 30, 40 seconds left?
Yeah, I hope he will. I think he uses some liquid chalk. Yep, he does. Sometimes that helps a little bit because it dries out your skin a little bit more than a normal chalk. But of course he knows that he can be the one who climbs 3 boulders. He knows that he could potentially take the win on this boulder. But it seems as if it'll be very difficult to make that happen.
It's still open if he doesn't top it. Florian Klingler, by the way, now can't retain his title from last year. The best he could do is 2 tops and 2 zones. It wouldn't be enough to catch Nikolai Uznik, so Flo Klingler's out of it. There will be a new champion in Austria. Here he goes. Set off, I have to say, even later than I thought. Less than 30 seconds left. Here he goes. So, zone. Will he try and match it again? Or will he go straight from there? He does try and match it. He's getting set up for the jump. Here he goes. Oh, and he's close. I think actually time would have been a big factor.
Such a good effort though. But it just showed that this move is just a tiny little bit too hard for tonight. What a boulder.
Fresh they might have done it.
Yeah, probably.
But after the 2 days they've had, it's just a little bit too far.
It's always hard to know what the sequence of boulders would have done with the result. But it keeps it more exciting for us and boulder number 4. So thanks, Nikolai, for not topping yet.
So by my maths, everybody down to 4th can win. Because they could all end up with at least 2 tops and 3 zones, and then it will come down to attempts.
Yeah, except if Nikolai climbs the boulder.
Well, yeah, but mathematically they could win. But see, whatever happens, it will be decided by the last climber. So as you rightly say, we're in for a dramatic finish. 4th and final boulder. We're just to the right of the roof. You can see the boulder the climbers have just finished on. They're probably sick of the sight of that orange and green boulder.
Tough start for boulder number 4. You got to press yourself in, and then who's flexible enough? Yeah, that's definitely a little bit about flexibility here. Maybe Jakob is happy that he's not there. No?
I feel like
that's a wild guess.
I can feel his influence on these boulders. They're hard.
Yeah,
compromising.
Come on, Matti. It's an interesting start. Yeah, and now he has to get his foot over on the right-hand side.
I wonder if you could release the feet and just swing them through, so you don't have to have them both at the same time. I don't know.
Yeah, if you have enough power to hold the crimp, I guess you can. But then if you're able to do it with both feet, like while both feet are on the wall, I think you would use less power.
Yeah.
But of course, then you got to be more flexible.
It's not the most glamorous part of climbing, flexibility, but it can be so important.
Depends. Sometimes I think it can be very glamorous and beautiful.
Yeah, it's just not that.
But if then if someone's not flexible, it looks.
It's not the most fun to train.
Awkward sometimes. Yeah, and also, it's also a little bit about genetics.
Yeah.
So some people just don't have as much hip flexibility as others. No, but that's true, and then it is a disadvantage in climbing. You don't have to be able to do the splits, but you got to be flexible in your hip. Come on. Yeah, and Matti's really struggling here. He showed a really great performance earlier on.
Yeah, got a top on boulder number 1 on his 3rd attempt.
Yeah,
no top since then, but he's got both zones so far.
And climbed really good on boulder number 2 on the jump with the yellow slopers. Come on, Matti.
I see what he's trying here. Is he going to just try and do it again? Or?
Oh, so close. He almost gets his foot in there.
I mean, with a minute to go, if you know that your hips won't stretch, do you just try something completely different? I don't know. I'm not sure what else there is to try.
Yeah, the problem is there's not a lot of other options. And I guess he knows that.
Yeah, that's what happens when you cut the feet loose.
But it's not meant to be.
There goes my idea. He's got time to get to the zone. I don't think he's got time to get to the top. Be nice if he could find a way, though.
Ah, too bad.
That's kind of what I was thinking. Could you just do it quickly?
Yeah.
Just stick the right foot out.
Oh, it's a little bit frustrating, of course. Yeah, this boulder number 4 was not Matti's boulder. But we'll remember the good performance on boulder number 1 and boulder number 2. So I think he can definitely be proud of himself for being in final of the Austrian Championship. And so far he's still second place.
And the Ausschneiter now, only man without a top or a zone so far. What can he do on this last boulder?
How flexible is this man in his hips?
Quite tall, which will actually be a bit of a disadvantage here, I would imagine. You got more leg to fit in the same space than some climbers.
That's true. Might not be in your box. Come on, Andy.
Oh,
yep.
He's been working on his flexibility, and look at that. Gets himself stood up, eyeing up the zone now. Do you go from there, or do you bring the left foot over?
No.
Oh, I saw what he was trying.
What a cool move, though.
Yeah.
I really like that move.
So I don't know if we kind of picked that up in real time, but he's trying to also catch with the left hand. So he's going for the left of those two holes with his right hand, and then catching one of the volumes with the left hand.
I wonder who set that boulder. Maybe Andy. That's my guess. We'll find out later, but now we'll concentrate with the other Andy, not the route-setting Andy Matuszka, but the climber Andy Aufschneider. He's looking at the clock, and he looks very motivated. Maybe that's his boulder. Maybe he can fight tonight in boulder number 4.
You can see the advantage of that flexibility. Yes. The position that Matthijs Erber could not attain, he could just slip straight into. Here he goes. So, yeah, you can see going with the right hand, trying to catch with the left. It's quite a spectacular fall. He's not too far from the glass wall at the edge of the mat. 2 minutes left of his final, whatever happens. Just asking his body for one last effort. Probably got 2 attempts left, I guess. Or will it just be the one effort? Will it just be one final go? I think he'll have a couple of attempts.
Yeah, and he has had a long day. Or long 2 days. Qualification yesterday, semi-finals, speed. And now he's here climbing in finals.
Here he goes, Andy. Crowd clapping in unison, trying to give him that extra 0.1% that might just make the difference. Will get himself set, eyeing up with the right hand. Oh, and he is so close. Surely going to have another go with just a minute left. Yes, he does.
He's not giving up before the clock doesn't tell him to, I think.
Could there be 2 attempts? Going again. Well, if looks could kill, that black volume
would be dead by now. He's a real showman, that's for sure.
That's true. It'd be great to see him in a few more comps.
Yeah. Come on, Andy.
Here he goes.
Yeah,
sticks it this time. And that's the zone for Andy Aufschneider.
Come on, come on, come on.
Oh, no. Couldn't quite manage to cross through, but what a finish to the evening for him. Gets himself on the scoreboard. 15 seconds to go, just thinks, you know what, I'll have another go. He's already got the zone. Here he goes again. He does it again. Even if the clock tells him to stop, I think he'll just keep on climbing. Andy Aufschneider, take a bow. I think he was just going to ignore the clock and keep climbing if he could have done.
Yeah, I think he really
just
enjoyed
ran
that
out of
boulder.
energy. Even the judges applauding that.
Very good job from Andi Aufschneider, and a glimpse of what we're about to see from the upcoming climbers. The zone is definitely possible. And the top is not too far away. So I'd speculate we'll see a top on boulder number 4.
That might be the moment of the final, actually, just pulling on with 15 seconds to go just because he wanted to.
Yep.
Brilliant. So Jan-Luca Posch.
Okay, now
we'll get him up into first place.
he
It's
needs
big
to
if.
do it quickly.
He does.
Come on, Yanni.
Oh, that could have been costly. Attempts would be absolutely crucial.
And he changed shoes. He used the Futura in the other attempts. Now he has the Scarpa on, if I'm correct. Come on, Yanni.
Tall climber, but he's got the flexibility to reach across.
Come on, Yanni. He wants to match it. Different method than Andi. Would save a little bit of power, I guess.
Yeah, and it'll save the coordination, perhaps, because you won't need to catch it.
But it doesn't work.
No, he doesn't like it. He's going to have to go for the double.
No.
Oh, it's close.
Yeah, that fumbling, that matching in the end did not save him power. Bah. Exciting. I think he'll go straight for the double next try, so he won't waste power on matching the Squadra volume.
Must be hard when you've had frustration like he did on the third boulder. Skin.
Yeah, of course.
Skin lets him down. He's got to come back out and start again.
But that's the game of bouldering. Somehow you gotta forget about the other boulders. If you gotta be in the exact here and now. It's only the 4th boulder that counts, because even as it stands now, Yanni still has chances to be on the podium. So he needs to focus. Come on. Ale, Yanni. Yeah, perfect. Ale, ale. Nah, he
So
tries
here
to
he
match
goes.
again.
Really doesn't want to. I think he's going to have to do the coordination move where you catch with the left hand, but it looks like he's trying to avoid it somehow. Using a lot of energy in this position. Right shoulder taking a lot of effort.
Come on, Yanni, just do it. Ale, ale. Boah.
Trying to do it a little more statically, use his height. At some point he will have to jump. Is he trying to save his skin? Does he not want to land on a tiny little crimp?
No.
Ah.
I think he wants to do it statically somehow. Don't let frustration sink in, Yanni. You can still do it. Come on.
I think frustration is seeping in, sadly.
Think about another solution.
Judge says, no, that's okay, you can keep going. So I think it's going to be one go or bust here.
30
Says
seconds
the crowd,
left on the clock, yeah.
Here he goes. Oh, and he can't make it work. And there goes the win. There goes the podium for Jan-Luca Posch after a brilliant qualifying round, a very strong semi-final. Sadly, is let down by his skin in the final. Got a little frustrated, I think, after that third boulder. Lars Weiler now.
Now the last 3 men could decide the podium. Eli is the first one out. He has 1 tops in 4 tries and 3 zones. Come on, Eli. No problem at the start so far. What method is he choosing? He also tries to match.
It looks like it should be comfortable to put your foot on that left wall, but the corner is a lot more open than it looks.
Yeah, somehow the angle is not right. You'd think you could stem yourself into that corner, but somehow it doesn't work.
Yeah, it perhaps doesn't quite come across on camera, but it is more open than than you think. It's kind of just a little bit too far left. You can't get any purchase. Like, you can get your foot on it, but you can't really get any purchase.
Yeah, it seems like the best way is actually the way Andy did it. Just having both feet on, one on the left hand black volume, one on the right black volume, and just going for it. And not trying to match anything up there. Just going 100% in the jump. Come on, Eli.
Right, here goes.
No.
Looked like he was just a little too far right on that zone crimp.
Yeah. Looks a little bit tired by now.
Not surprised.
Yeah, I wonder why. But he's got 2 minutes. Come on, Eli. Eli, full gas. Yes, sticks it, nice.
Yeah, latches the zone.
Come on, Eli, now we want to see the top part.
He's got himself in a good position, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, this is great stuff.
Nice. Come on, man. Ali.
Yeah. Right,
and the top is not bad. The top's actually okay. Come on. No! Oh my God. Why did you drop that?
What can you say? The crowd's reaction says it all.
The problem is the top wouldn't be that bad if he could have placed his left foot into the black volume. But jumping from from the red volume at the very bottom, not 100% sure.
I can't believe he's got enough energy to get back up there. It looked like every move was on the limit.
Oh, come on, Eli. 24 seconds left on the clock. This is nerve-wracking.
Here he goes.
Come on,
Holds
Eli,
it again, 15 seconds. So now time really needs that foot to stay on so he can cross through.
Man, you got it.
And he just can't do it.
Very good effort by Eli Weiler.
Yeah, and that means that without even touching the last boulder, Nikolai Uznik is going to win. Flo Klingler can't catch him. We know our winner, but the drama far from over. Let's take one more look at this. It was absolute heartbreak.
And since Eli grabbed the zone, this was the bronze for Eli Weiler. But too bad he dropped. His foot popped on boulder number 2, and now he dropped the top hold on boulder number 4. But Eli Weiler climbed superbly throughout this final. Congrats to him.
Yeah,
and
Flo Klingler trying something completely
Flo
different.
needs to get a top. What? Remember, he has to have 3 points on the left volume and 1 point on the right. So I don't know what his idea was there. Yeah, now he tries the right way. Come on. Exactly, that's the way. 1, 2, 3, and 1 on the right hand. So it's the correct starting position, and he's off.
Perhaps just a bit of frustration at how this evening's unfolded. He's climbing like a man who's not in a good mood.
Yeah, I mean, he's struggling with that move, but I really don't know what his idea is here. How is he going to get his left foot over if he starts like that?
Yeah, you see this at the start of every boulder, there's always 4 bits of tape to denote where your 4 limbs have to go. And as Anna said, there's 1 bit of tape on the right and 3 on the left. So you've got to have 3 limbs on that left-hand hold and 1 on the right. So if you throw your feet up to the right, how do you then get into a legal start position?
And of course, Flo knows that he needs to top this boulder, because that definitely puts pressure on him. Not too nice to be in this part. But on the other hand, he can still change this. It's in his hands. He can definitely top boulder number 4.
And he can pick up the silver medal if he does.
Yep.
We already know who the winner's going to be.
Let's start the action one more time. Flo, offense.
Come on, Flo.
He's just struggling with the flexibility through here.
But he's struggling just like Matthias Erber before. He can't quite get his right foot over on the right hand volume. Seems as if his hips are not flexible enough for that move.
It's a better look at the corner actually. You can see how open it is. You can see why putting your left foot doesn't out into that blank panel doesn't really work.
Come on, Flo. Maybe he can find another beta. Maybe he can jump with his feet to the right volume. I don't know.
Hips were flexible enough to get his left foot all the way up there.
Yeah.
But it's slightly, subtly different type of flexibility to get your right foot up here into that dish. There's a medal on the line here. You've got to keep scrapping for this one.
If Flo doesn't top, then Eli Weiler secured the silver medal instead of the bronze. Yeah, but he can't. Oh, he can get into the starting position.
I'm
okay.
not sure there was ever a controlled position there, but the judges seem to think there was.
Come on, Flo.
And he just misses the jump. I have to say, if I was being skeptical, I'm not sure he was ever in a legal starting position. He kind of had one shin sort of touching the left volume, maybe. Let's have another look.
Let's have a look again.
You've got to achieve a stable start position.
I mean, it's up to the judges to judge whether that was the knee or the foot.
Yeah.
If it's the foot, then it's completely okay, and then that would have been his way to do it, actually. But then he found this beta too late.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter
too
anyway.
Bad. Not his night.
No, so the order all decided. Nikolai Uznik, this is just a victory lap for him, a lap of honor. We'd love to see a top, though. I mean, we're not seeing a top since Boulder 2.
Yeah, we want to see a top on Boulder number 4, no matter if Nikolai won already or not. And I'm sure he feels the same. He wants to celebrate in style. Come on, Nikolai. Uh-oh, he can't get his foot over. Ah, he can. Perfect. Yep.
Okay,
that's the way. Come on, Nikolai.
Here he goes,
Come
full
on.
of confidence.
No!
Oh, he had the right idea. Maybe he went a bit too hard.
Yeah, I think he missed the left hand somehow.
Yeah.
We'd have to watch the replay, but it seemed as if he missed the left hand.
Looked like he had a lot of momentum.
Yeah, he was definitely 100% motivated. Adds to the suspension if he can't do it first try.
There's a lot of climbers in this final who are, as a friend of mine describes people, they won't die wondering. Just give it absolutely everything and it will be what it will be.
Yeah.
Nikolai Uznik proving to be one of them.
Come on, Nikolai.
So what's he got here? Maybe, silly as it sounds, doesn't need to go quite as hard on this move. Little more control.
Yeah,
that's more like it. He could really seal a dominant win here if he finds a top, because it would be 3 tops and no one else has got more than 1.
Come on, Nikolai.
One more move for the Hollywood finish. Nikolai Uznik for the win. There it is. 3 tops.
Nice.
2 more than anyone else managed. Highest ranked climber in the semi-final follows it up with a dominant performance in the final. What an evening we've had here in Innsbruck.
Amazing
Fantastic
performance
stuff
by Nikolai Uznik. Very, very nice job. The only one to top boulder number 4.
No question who the best climber was today. Highest ranked in the semi-final. It's never really looked close in the final. And what a finish. We've had powerful climbers, tall climbers, short climbers try that last boulder. And Nikolai Uznik, the only one who managed it.
Austrian champion of 2020.
Amazing stuff. We will hear from the winners shortly, then we'll have a short podium ceremony. And then somehow we've got to come back and do it all again tomorrow for the lead. And the paraclimbing. Don't forget, paraclimbing getting underway half an hour earlier than originally scheduled tomorrow. And then we've got the 2 lead finals, and I'll have Hannah Schubert joining me for them in the commentary box. Would be nice to have her on the wall, but second best to that is to have her in the commentary box. So it'll be Hannah Schubert in here tomorrow. Hopefully we'll hear from Nikolai Uznik in just a second, but this is how he did it. Got the job done on number 1, 3rd attempt on that one.
Yeah, he looked confident throughout the round. Top on boulder number 2. He and Florian Klingler were the only one to top this boulder. And then the one and only to top boulder number 4.
I have to say, honourable mention for Eli Weiler though. He was so close on that one. Here he is on number 1.
Eli Weiler with the silver medal, more than deserved, almost. Ah!
Just quickly for the German speakers out there, believe we're about to hear from our winner, Nikolai Uznik, just heading over to the ORF interview area. And I believe in a couple of seconds we'll hear from the winner. We'll speak to you in a second.
Nikolai, Gratulation zu dem Staatsmeistertitel. War das heute die große Uznik-Show letztlich?
Ja, ich bin überglücklich. Ich habe gewusst, dass ich ganz gut drauf bin. Aber natürlich, wenn es dann auch so perfekt aufgeht, alles schon im Halbfinale und jetzt im Finale auch wieder, ist es natürlich umso schöner und ja, ich freue mich wirklich sehr drüber.
Man hat erwartet, dass da viele Tops zustande kommen. Es war aber dann besonders die zweite Hälfte des Finales ein richtiger Kampf. Wie schwierig war es heute, an diese Probleme heranzugehen?
Ja, es war auch schon im Semifinale, das war ziemlich kräfteraubend. Und jetzt im Finale halt noch einmal, nach 2 wirklich sehr anstrengenden Tagen, ist es natürlich auch immer eine Frage der Substanz und der Fitness von jedem Kletterer. Und das macht dann natürlich die Finalrunde auch nicht leichter. Aber es hat trotzdem voll Spaß gemacht, es waren wirklich coole Boulder und ja, gut gepasst.
Sie sind noch jung, Sie sind 20 Jahre erst alt. Was bedeutet Ihnen das jetzt schon, da ganz oben zu stehen?
Ja, ich weiß nicht, ist natürlich ein schöner Erfolg für mich und einer der Besten auch, dass ich in der allgemeinen Klasse schon Staatsmeister sein kann. Und ja, es war natürlich heuer ein großes Ziel, nachdem viele Wettkämpfe gecancelt worden sind. Und jetzt hat sich die harte Arbeit und das viele Training auch gelohnt.
Wie viel wert ist das auch für Ihr ganzes Trainingsumfeld, für Ihre Freunde und für die mitgeholfen haben?
Ja, natürlich. Da fließen viele Faktoren mit ein, ob es jetzt die Trainer sind, die Familie, Eltern, Freunde. Allein, glaube ich, ist es schwer, überhaupt sowas zu schaffen oder so weit zu kommen. Und dadurch kehrt der Erfolg auch ein bisschen dem Trainerteam, den Freunden, der Familie und den Eltern.
Gratulation nochmal und genießen Sie die Siegerehrung.
Danke.
Anna, you were listening into the interview on the one pair of headphones available, and the first thing he said was, "What a nice guy." What did he say, Nikolai?
Yeah, because he said that for him it's really special to be Austrian champion already at the young age of 20 years, and he's aware that it's not only his effort but also the effort of his whole coaching team, his parents, his friends, and yeah, he wants to dedicate this win also to all of them and his whole team basically supporting him. And yeah, he's a very nice guy, and he really deserved the win tonight. I mean, he was the one who climbed 3 boulders. He was unstoppable. And also from my side, the biggest congratulations to Nikolai Uschnik, our new Austrian champion.
Yeah, that's going to sound pretty nice tonight when he heads into Innsbruck for a beer. Austrian champion's got a nice ring to it.
Yeah, but the pubs close at 10 p.m.
No, it starts tomorrow.
It starts tomorrow.
Yeah,
Oh, I wasn't
tomorrow.
even
He's
aware
got one
of that.
more night.
But tomorrow's lead qualification, so I guess there's no beer for Nikolai tonight.
Oh, come
I'm
on.
sorry.
Come on.
Boring.
Have a heart.
No, but these were 2 very exciting finals, I think.
Yeah, they were excellent finals. I mean, if you looked at the scores, or if you looked at the tops on the men's side, it wouldn't look like a great final. But actually, if you look at the zones, we had lots of zones, lots of people making progress on boulders, even if they weren't topping them. It made for an excellent show. We're just waiting for the podium, by the way. See the wall silhouetted here in Innsbruck. It's been a gorgeous evening. It wasn't the best forecast in the world, but it's turned out much better than expected. Have to say that tomorrow night for the paraclimbing and the lead, sadly we're not expecting quite the same conditions. Forecast to be about 6 degrees Celsius with heavy rain. Reminds me rather of the 2017 Youth World Championships. I think
we still hope that the forecast is wrong.
We just
you
have
know,
to
the
hope
weather
it's
changes
wrong.
quickly in the Alps. So we'll see. But for now, these 3 men can enjoy the beautiful evening or night.
Yeah, Matthias Erber on the podium for the 2nd night running after getting beaten in the big final of yesterday's speed climbing. So it's a bronze and a silver for him over the last 24 hours. Not a bad couple of days at the office.
Picked up 2 medals already. Matti Erber 2nd in speed, and now our 3rd place in bouldering at the Austrian Championship, Matthias Erber.
He knows the podium ceremony now. You put your own medal on these days thanks to coronavirus, and you get a fist pump. There we go.
From our president, Eugen Bucher, Austrian president of the Climbing Federation. He's handing over the medals and the flowers and the money.
What a performance that man put on this evening. Elias Weiler would not be beaten by that last boulder. In the end was just defeated on the very last move, but he would not accept it until he absolutely had to. Really wonderful moment when he just kept battling and kept battling. And in the end, he got every single zone. Only one top, but all 4 zones. The other man, they've got 4 zones and 3 tops to go with him. Your new Austrian champion, 20-year-old Nikolai Uschnik. Dominant performance, best climber in the semi-final. Best climber in the final, no doubt, who deserved to win this evening. Other climbers had issues with their skin, didn't get on with a couple of boulders. Everything went his way. 3 tops, 4 zones. No question who deserves to win. He is the new Austrian champion. A massive performance from the young man. Anna, that's felt like a long and emotional evening.
Yeah, somehow I always get emotional when I watch climbing competitions, but it's so good to have them back on, and it was beautiful finals. Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much for coming along. As I say, I'll be back tomorrow evening with Hannah Schubert, paraclimbing.
Also, das war die
and lead climb tomorrow
Siegerehrung
night.
hier
We'll
beim
see
Boulder Finale mit dem großen Sieger Nikolai Uschnik. Ein sensationelles Finale, ein spannendes, da war alles eigentlich drin.
Ja, es war echt super lässig jetzt bis zum Schluss und total überraschend, weil er jetzt alles am Podium geklettert ist. Hat mich gefreut, ich trinke es mit einem Wein und einem lächelnden Auge.
Was ist das Weinende?
Ja, dass Leute, die dann selbstständig trainieren und eigentlich gar nicht im Nationalteam sind, da echt so mitmischen können und unsere versierten Athleten dann, wenn sie unter Wettkampfstress stehen, nicht abliefern können, weil das hat sich jetzt auch durch die Summer Series schon durchgezeigt.
Morgen ganz interessantes Programm hier bei den Staatsmeisterschaften in Innsbruck. Paraclimbing, Vorstieg. Auf was freust du dich da ganz besonders?
Ja, ich freue mich jetzt auf alle Bewerber. Ich hoffe nur, wir spüren jetzt schon den ersten Regentropfen, dass wir nicht Land unter haben. Aber es ist jeder Bewerb spannend. Paraclimbing freue mich sowieso total. Dann die Kombination wird spannend wieder, aber wenn es mit Jakob, wenn er nicht dabei ist. Und Lied morgen, ja, Höhepunkt morgen, würde ich sagen.
Aber die Veranstalter haben auf alle Fälle alles richtig gemacht. Du hast es gerade angesprochen, die ersten Regentropfen spüren wir bereits und das ist wahrscheinlich auch das Stichwort für morgen. Regen und Temperatursturz, das ist angesagt. Schauen wir mal, wie das wird. Ab 17 Uhr sind wir live hier mit dabei mit eben der Entscheidung im Paraclimbing und dann ab 18 Uhr Vorstieg, Finale bei den Frauen und bei den Männern. Da gibt es alles, da gibt es auch den Start von Jakob Schubert. Davor schon ab 14.20 Uhr die Rad-WM live bei uns in OF Plus mit dem Einzelzeitfahren aus Imola. Also auch da können Sie mit uns, mit unserem Programm mit dabei sein. Für heute sage ich mal danke Reini. Das war's und noch einen angenehmen Abend aus Innsbruck.